Namaste, everyone. Welcome to class. This morning, I wanted to start our class with a student teaching prayer, which is a prayer in Sanskrit. And I know on Zoom it doesn't sound very good, but you can just roll with it. The prayer says, may we nourish ourselves, may both of us nourish ourselves. May we study together, may we work together, may that work and that study be vigorous and fruitful. May we not antagonize one another, and may we have peace, pure peace between us, among us, okay? So the prayer itself is done in a very familiar form in Sanskrit with two people. So it's talking about a teacher and a student, but the role always reverses. You are a teacher when I am a student. I am learning from you. When we have comments at the end of class and you explain to me something or you have me explain something, I know I can explain it a little better the next time around. So we're always students and we're always teachers all the time. So let's join me if you will. You can just listen. Close your eyes. Soft gaze is fine. Hands at the heart. Relax your thumbs against your sternum and just pay attention to your breath for a couple of inhales and exhales. Sahana vavatu, sahana punatu, sahaviryam karvavahai, tejasvina varitamastu, ma vidvishavahai, om shanti, shanti, shanti. Just letting the Sanskrit words wash over you for a moment. And then letting your eyes flutter open on an inhale. So today's class is the last of our classes on the pranayama, on the 5 energetic, vital energies of the body that create our functioning in the world, in these physical bodies, these stula shariras, these gross bodies, as we say, okay? So the last one today is circulation, vyana, vayu. So just to sort of go again through all 5 vayus. We have udana vayu, which is up and out, up and out, up and out, speaking, singing, vomiting, spitting, everything up and out. Prana vayu, in and down, and feeding the brain. So our mind and the breath coming in and down, in and down. Samana vayu, what we call often unchanging air because it's folding in upon itself, it's not leaving the body. Samana vayu, our digestive function, so coming in and being transformed, nutrients, emotions, thoughts, that gut brain, our enteric nervous system. Apana vayu, the downward flow, out, down and out of the body. So excretion, any kind of elimination out, menstruation, ejaculation, childbirth, anything down and out. And beyond vayu, this circulatory movement of the body from in to out and then out coming back in. Circulation all over the body. So blood and lymph, everything that's moving, all of the interstitials that are moving. So just take a moment and make some big circles with me. Rolling over onto your right sit bone, back towards your tailbone, left sit bone, right one to peel up towards your pubic bone. Just make these big circles on your pelvic basket. Take the whole spine with you so you have all of your curves. You're not folding anywhere right now, just rolling around. And let's go back in the other direction. If this feels limiting to you, your limitation is in your hip socket. So just knowing we work on that, so don't be hard on yourself. Just do wherever you are, whatever's happening for you. Good. And then come into neutral and go back and forth a little, back and forth. So for the scriptures, all of these vayus, all of these energy airs have a seat, and the seat is a chakra, which is in our spinal cord. okay, that innervates the organs, and it looks like a drawing of innervating the organs that are in that area. But for beyond vayu, there's no specific one for all of the scriptures. They all agree on all other four, but this one, some of them have it the heart, which you can imagine is circulation. Some of it have it as the umbilical cord, which you can imagine is our internal 9-month circulation of happening with us receiving nutrients. So just knowing that that is fluid. It's not one way or the other. It's just, it's revealed wisdom. So we're not really sure about where that is. So let's think about circulation for a moment. Go ahead and bring your arms up over your head. Hold on to your right wrist. And for a moment, just to know that the arms that are above the heart, if we left them there for a long period of time, they would wither away because the circulation would not get to them. So just thinking about that for a moment. Just keep the arm up until you start to feel that the blood is indeed running down. And it's challenging to fight gravity to have it go up because your extremities normally are going down. So lean over a little bit to the left side, lean, lean, keep your right sit bone firmly on the ground, lean. Take a nice inhale where you are, feel the restriction, and exhale up. Good, switch wrist. Just notice for a moment, the arms may be feeling, the fingers may start to feel cold. Just notice the circulation change. And then leaning over to the right side. Keep the left sit bone planted firmly on the ground, just reaching away. Increasing the space in the chest cavity. So since there's no determined chakra, we can put pressure anywhere between our heart and our belly button because it's somewhere in there is the center of our circulation, okay? And come back up on an exhale. Good. And then let's go ahead and come into table pose and work with the spine for a moment, just knowing that all 7 chakras and a lot more, all the joints have them, we have them in lots of places in our body. Curl your toes under, we'll start there. Find your low back curve, your neutral, pull in your belly. So you're not in either of the cat poses, you're strictly in a neutral space. Good. And then as you exhale, pull your belly back to your spine, curl your chin into your chest and get very round. Press into the floor with your arms and hands. As you inhale, come back to that neutral, no further. As you exhale, lay out your feet, gaze up, tailbone toward the back of the head toward the tailbone. And inhale, back to neutral. Curl the toes under. Keep the toes curled under, press into the feet. Curl and inhale, neutral. Exhale, lay out the feet, press into all the toes. And inhale, come back into neutral. One more set, curl the toes under, press into the ball of the feet and the hands, get round. Inhale, neutral. And then exhale, lay out the feet, curl. And inhale, neutral. Good. Press up for a moment, just onto your knees. Good. A nice long line of energy. You can be sideways. You don't have to face me right now. And open your heart. Just opening the heart for a moment. Pull in your belly. Everything is nice and stable. Visualize in your eyes right now that this is bridge pose, upside down. So behind your arms, behind your feet, you have a floor. So just see yourself in bridge pose. Imagine that. Good. And then release the hands and arms out parallel to the floor. And then exhale, have a seat back towards your heels. Good. Let's take the arms up, arms overhead. Lift up, pull in the belly. And exhale. Arms to neutral and hips to heels. Good. One more time. Coming up, arms up. Pubic bone, tailbone headed equally down toward the floor. There's no thrusting of anything in the pelvic basket here. Breathe. And on your next exhale, lowering. This time lowering your hands to your knees. Good. And then curl the toes under, coming up into our toe balance. So just being aware here of all of the values for a moment. Just be aware of all of the values. Try to find your upright spine. Take your time. Balancing on the ball of the foot. Don't throw the weight into the toes themselves. It is called toe balance, but you're really on the ball of the foot, pulling your belly, pulling your pelvic floor. Breath is in the chest, not in the high chest, in the low chest, sports bra area. Take a nice inhale, and then on your exhale, let's stand. See if you can stay up, all the way up, and then exhale, lower into your heels. Good, come into your neutral spot. Finding neutral. Finding your Tadasana. Good. And everyone is seeing the poster of an anatomically placed man. It usually is a man, long-haired. Go ahead and open your legs out and then open your arms up for a moment. So like a starfish. How I often recommend that you take your Shavasana. So just opening up, becoming aware of the circulation in the body. So this is going to be our neutral place. We're going to exhale, arms are going to cross, and inhale up. Exhale. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale up. How about every single time you cross over a different arm in front? Okay, let's take the right in front now. Up. Exhale, left in front, up. Right in front, up. Left in front, up. One more time. Right in front, up. Left in front, up. Good. Stay up for a moment. Shoulder blades moving firmly down the back. Pull in your belly. Lift your pelvic floor. Release the arms to shoulder height. Good. Release the arms about 3/4 of the way down. Flip the palms toward me. Pull in your belly. And just notice how much balance is required in your body to do this. Good. Release your arms. And then heel toe, back into Tadasana. Find your Tadasana, standing nice and tall. Good. And then I want you to slouch forward for a second because I want you to feel the difference. So just kind of slouch forward just a little. Good. And then bring yourself back into your neutral. And then take yourself back for a moment. Just poke your bottom out. Bring yourself back into neutral. So exaggerate. Poke it forward. And neutral. And then come back. And neutral. So I really want you to feel that neutral space there, right? So if you were looking to the side, ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips, hips over knees, knees over ankles. So looking for that line of energy. Good. So feeling nice and solid for a moment. We're going to externally rotate the left leg. So peel up the left heel, peel it up. And then slowly, no changing on your right side, no dumping into the right hip. Firmly keep the right hip where it is. Externally rotate the left leg. You can kickstand it. Good. Arms up overhead. Finding our little tiny variation of a tree pose. Palms can touch and you can rest the palms, rest the bottom of the palms somewhere close to the head. Good. And then I just want you to lift and lower. Lift and lower. 3 times. Lift and lower. Keep it a kickstand. Don't sink into your right hip. Keep the hip engaged. And now walk your heel above your ankle. Still keep the toe engaged. Good. And then notice that you have this external rotation. We're going to add adduction. You're going to really pull in that right hip and walk the left leg past. Good. Don't let the right hip sink. It may just be really close to your foot, wherever you need it to stay balanced. Good. And then bring the hands down beside the body, arms slowly relaxing. Make sure you didn't sink into that right hip. And then bring the leg back up and release. Good, good. And just repeat the same thing on the other side. Get soft for a moment. We have this tendency to just hug every single muscle as hard as we can. Get soft. Good. Press into the floor with both feet initially. Firm up your left hip. Keep it nice and firm. Begin to peel up the right heel. Good. Everything's firm. Let's go ahead and take our arms out to the side and up and over. Rest the palms. You can even rest them on your head if you'd like for a moment. Just keep them low. And then externally rotate and kickstand your right leg. Keep the left hip in. Don't sink into the left hip. Good. Breathe. And then we're going to lift and lower 3 times. Lift, lower. Nothing else is moving, just that leg. Good. And then just be still for a moment. Bring the heel right above the ankle. Press into the foot. Good. And now we're going to adduct. We're going to bring the leg across and kickstand it. It may be different than the other side. Imagine the amount of space. Belly's in. Pelvic floor is lifted. Breath is in the chest. You really need your belly engaged for this. Good. Let's take the arms to shoulder height. Take a nice inhale. And then exhale. Lift the leg and release. Close your eyes and stand in the Shavasana, standing Shavasana, standing horse. For those of you who know my restaurant in Guatemala, in our menu, we have the story of a standing corpse because one was found in the wall during an excavation, well, during an earthquake when the wall fell. So, and there's a story that goes with it, but remind me later. So just a standing Shavasana. Relax your bottom, relax your jaw, relax your shoulders, your belly, relax. And then on your next inhale, let's open our eyes. Good. So come back apart, nice and wide apart. Arms up to shoulder height. Good. Externally rotate your left leg and lean back to the right, like a star. Good. Come back into neutral. Lean over to the left. Good. Back into neutral. Lean to the right. Kick out your right heel a little bit, give you a little bit more stability in your pelvic basket. Come back. Lean a little bit and back. Now bend the left knee. Stack it over that ankle or shy of, but not past. Never past. Lift the pelvic floor. Think about the circulation of everything in the whole of the body out to all of the extremities. Good. Inhale, come up, and exhale, lower and look to the side. Inhale, come up, look forward. Exhale, lower and look to the side. Inhale, come up. Exhale, lower. Last one. Inhale, come up, and exhale, lower. Stay looking to the side. Begin to reach over to the left side. Straighten your left leg. Release your left arm. Stack your right arm on top. Reach up, our variation of triangle pose. So I have triangle, 3 angles. So my first triangle is between my legs. My next triangle is between my lower arm and my body. And my third triangle is my whole body, from the tips of my fingers to either foot. Isosceles. Good, take an inhale. Exhale, neutral, warrior 2. And then inhale, arms up, coming up, gaze up. Exhale, hands into your heart, unrotate the leg. Good, and then externally rotate the right leg. Arms out to the side. Great, feel yourself big like a starfish. Good. And then reach over to the left and come back. Reach to the right and come back. Reach to the left, find that neutral spot and come back. Reach to the right and come back. Make sure your left heel is out enough that you can really feel that If your feet are headed out to the left, no. Your toes, no. Toes need to head forward or even in a tiny bit. Good. Okay. So warrior two, we're going to bend and gaze forward. And then we're going to inhale, straighten the leg, come up, look forward. Exhale, bend and look to the side. Inhale, come up. Exhale, bend, look to the side. Pull in your belly. Inhale, come up. Exhale, bend, look to the side. Last one. Inhale, come up. And bend, look to the side. Good. Just staying there for a moment. And then reaching over to the right side as far as you can possibly reach. Stay open toward me. Don't collapse your chest. Stay open. Good. And then straighten the right leg. Keep reaching. Straighten the right leg. Bottom side is just as long as the top side. Good. Relax your right arm. And left arm up toward the ceiling. Both palms facing my direction. Long on that bottom side. Breathing. If you'd like a little extra challenge, take your gaze up to your upper hand. Good. Take a nice inhale, and we're going to exhale into warrior two. Good. And then inhale. Come up, straighten the leg, bring the hands into the heart, unrotate. Both arms again, out to the side, think circulation. We're going back to what we were doing at the beginning. We're going to lean over and swing the arms. Right arm in front, left arm in front, right arm in front, left arm in front. One more set. Right arm in front, left arm in front. Good. Hands into the heart, heel toe, enough to come in and find your standing shavasana. Relax muscle and tendon and ligament to bone. Soften your belly, your pelvic floor, your shoulders, your jaw. Just imagine warm, soft muscles relaxing on bones. Let your lungs expand, going out or in or wherever they go, but no pulling in your chest or belly right now, just soft. All of the vayus have air. They are all subsets of the air element. All 5 vayus have movement, action, function that moves. No air, no movement anywhere, in anything, in our universe. Good, and then on your next inhale, open your eyes. Good. We're going to go apart just one more time. We're going to do a twist from here. Our regular twist that we often do with our wide-legged pose. Grab your block or 2. You can even put them stacked up on top because I need your spine long. I need your back with a normal curve. I don't need it hunched over. That's going to only give you pain later in your day. So make sure if you need to come up higher on your block, if you need to come up onto 2 blocks, maybe you need the seat of a chair right there in front of you. So whatever you need to keep your spine long with a curve. Good. So let's go ahead and rest the right hand on the block. Bring the left hand to your sacrum. Palm can be down or up. You can decide which is the best, most comfortable for your shoulder. Lift your toes, press into the feet. Look down at your feet and make sure your heels are behind your second and third toe so they're not in. Your heels are not in. They're hidden right behind your second and third toe. And we're going to take this by using our rib cage and our shoulder. Keep your toes lifted. This is the work. Inhale, open, and exhale, close. Hips stay the same. Keep the feet engaged, and they will. And return. Inhale, open. Exhale, return. And inhale, open, press into the block, press into the chair, whatever you have there. And then slowly reach your left arm back, flip the palm toward me, thumb toward the ceiling. And then take the arm overhead. Press into the hand on the block or floor or chair or wherever it is. Good. And then close the arm down right in front. Good. Press into both blocks. Press into your heels, lift your toes, make sure you're spreading the sit bones. And now, with your left hand on the block and your right hand on your sacrum, palm up or down, you decide which is most comfortable for your shoulder. Good. Take an exhale, root in, lift the toes. Inhale, open, exhale, close. Don't move your hips. Inhale, open, and exhale, close. If you keep your feet and toes engaged, your hips won't move. Open and exhale. Inhale, open, stay this time. Keep the toes engaged. I know it's hard. Press into the block or the chair or wherever your left arm is. And then let the right arm reach back, flip the palm facing away from the same direction as your face, thumb reaching toward the ceiling. And then bring that arm up. Press into the left hand on the block. And then slowly let the arm close down. Good, long in the spine. And think about what just happened. I want you to memorize that for our discussion after class. I want to know how this twist was for you. That's what you're focusing on for the moment, okay? Good. Keep spreading the sit bones. And now I do want you to relax your spine. So if you're on blocks, flip them to a lower side. Be there for a moment. If you're on a chair, just you can bend your elbows and that'll just help you get a little lower. And then slowly begin to curl your upper back. Just letting your upper spine, where you have ribs and your neck, reach toward the floor. Bring your hands, if you're okay with this balance, bring your hands to your shins or thighs or ankles or even your big toes, wherever you would like to be. But the spine now has a curve in the thoracic spine, in the neck. The chin can come into the chest, crown of the head toward the floor. I also want you to memorize how this feels, this forward fold. Hold onto your legs somewhere along the thighs or the calves or the shins or something. And then everybody bring your hands to above the knees. Don't move anything else. Take an inhale, bring your spine as parallel as you can to the floor. Pause, exhale, get long, lift the toes. Inhale again. And exhale up. Good. And then heel toe. Find your standing shavasana. Relax muscle to bone. Soft pelvic floor, soft belly, soft shoulders, soft sternum, soft jaw. Let your eyes relax. Check your tongue. Good, and then inhale, letting your eyes open. So just one more quick balance before we go down to the floor, because as we get into this big circulatory space, I want us just to balance and open up. I know there's nothing big about that, just opening one side. Last one. Good. And now the other side. Good. And just wiggle for a moment, get nice and soft. Let's take our feet, and our feet are going to go out to the side, because as we squat, We want those legs to be soft and safe. So notice my heels are in, my feet are out, and my knees are out. So that when I go down, I'm going to keep my knees in the same direction as my feet. You can grab a block and put it underneath your booty if you'd like, and take all of this sitting on your booty. But if that block is too tall, you're going to feel like it shoves your spine up. So just let your spine hang in traction if you can. Just finding the traction. This is really good for apana vayu, but it's also stimulating everything on the front side and back side. So just resting in your squat. You can rest your hands on the floor. Hands can be at the heart. And then let your chin start to curl toward your chest. Rounding, finding our embryonic C curve of a spine. Good, and then slowly begin to gaze forward. Take your arms and hands somewhere back behind you and help yourself sit down. Good, not just leaving yourself hanging in space. And then we're going to do one nice short vinyasa, a little pose where we're just linking the poses, star pose, okay? So soles of the feet together for just a moment. Sit up tall, right on top, balance on top of those ischiums, right on top of your sit bones. Good, and then go ahead and bring in your left heel toward the groin. Take your right leg out, flex the foot. So this is what we're going to do. Just watch once and then we'll do it together, okay? Every time we lean, we're going to take the elbow to the knee and open the heart and the chest, leaning over. We're going to inhale back. We're going to exhale. We're going to point the toe and rise up and get really big. Press the foot and press the arm away from each other and then inhale back. Okay, so we move on the exhale and we inhale to our neutral spot. So go ahead and flex the right foot. Spine is tall. You're sitting on both of your ischial tuberosities, right on top of the top of your sit bones. Good. Take a nice inhale. And as you exhale, elbow toward knee, reaching over. Inhale back to neutral. And exhale, point the toe, lift away, push the floor with your left hand, and inhale back to neutral. Flex the foot. Exhale over. Inhale, neutral. Exhale, point and raise, and inhale, neutral. Exhale, over. Inhale, neutral. Exhale, point and rise up. Press the floor, and inhale, neutral. Last one. Good. Come into neutral. Go ahead and pull the left heel out a little bit. Bring the right foot in so they're just still touching in Vajrasana. And then pull in the right heel close to the body. Take and extend out the left leg. Point and flex towards you, the left toes. And you're going to take the elbow down toward the knee. Doesn't have to touch. It can touch, but it doesn't have to. Keep the foot flexed. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, elbow to knee, reaching over, and inhale back. Exhale, point and rise up, and inhale back. Flex the foot, head over, inhale back. Exhale, point the toe and rise up, and inhale back. Flex the foot, headed over to the left, and inhale back. Point and rise. Inhale back. Last one. Exhale over. Inhale back. Rise up. And inhale back. Good. Take out the right foot. Bring the left foot back toward it. Balance yourself. You can lift your hips off and then balance on your sit bones. Nice and tall. Good. We've really worked the whole body a lot today and all of the movements and motions. Move, balance a little bit, one sit bone, rock a moment from one to the other. We're going to go down to the floor gracefully. Just grab a block and take it with you because we're going to do our inversion, okay? So I want to make sure that you know if you're to invert. So as long as you're not on the first few days of your menstrual cycle and you have no heavy flow, you can invert. As long as you don't have high blood pressure, low blood pressure uncontrolled, or you have glaucoma, which means any eye pressure problems, you do not want to invert. If that's the case, just keep your bottom on the floor, put your legs up the wall, as high or as low as you feel comfortable, okay? For the rest of us, once we get down in a moment, we're gonna have our block, and we can go up into Viparita Mudra. If you have an inversion, that's another inversion, part of your practice, feel free to take that during that time, okay? So we're gonna come to the side, good. And thinking about somewhere between the heart and the belly button being our focus, okay, for this vyana vayu, somewhere between the heart and the belly button. Engage that area from the sternum all the way down into your belly button. Lift your knees, lift your shins, sorry, knees are bent. Good. So finding a V, finding an angle between your legs, your femurs, and your spine. Keep your low back curved. So don't hunch forward. Keep your low back curved. Sternum is facing out. Good. Just stay for a moment. If you'd like a little bit more, you're welcome to straighten the legs. If you'd like a little bit more, you're welcome to use the arms. Wherever you want to be in this boat pose, Navasana. Stay strong. And then slowly let your toes reach down to the floor. Some of you are going to be strong, super strong and just can go down all at once. Some of you want to hold on to your legs and roll to your sacrum and come all the way down. However you're there, just make your way down. And then let your knees bend and be in, but don't pull your knees. Don't pull them. It pulls on your low back. Stop. Legs are just in neutral. Knees are bent. Feet are just bent. Good. And then put your left foot on the floor. Put your right foot on the floor. Lift up your hip just to a diagonal line, knee to shoulder, and then relax it. So some of you, if you're not inverting, you may not even want the taste of this. If we're just going to go up and down 2 more times. You're welcome to try that. It's just right up and down. So up and down and up. Long line of energy and down. Good. Roll your pubic bone toward the floor a little until you find your low back curve where you could get a small mouse running underneath you. Make sure you have that curve. Good. And then if you're going to go up into Viparita, take your block, press it underneath your sacrum, and whichever of the, not the tall side, that's just too much stress on you, but place it in another side. And then get ready to draw the knees into the chest, but you have that little bit of your normal lumbar curve. And then legs up toward the ceiling and resting. If you're not inverting, just go to the wall and place your feet there and relax. Everybody relax. Relax your jaw, relax your legs. Soften your face. Is there any muscle group that you could not use right now? And then slowly press into the block with your bottom, wherever you are, press into the block with your bottom. Bend your knees gently, take them in towards your chest a little bit, just a little. And then step the right foot down to the floor. Press into the foot, lift the toes. Step the left foot down to the floor, press into the foot, lift the toes. Lift off your block, remove the block. Take your bottom to the floor, keep the low back curve for a moment, just keeping that curve, feeling that you've got it there, just noticing that. And then walk your shoulders away. You'll have less low back curve, but still a little smidgen. Now another tiny insect can crawl underneath you, but you're not flat on the floor. And then stretching out your right heel, press through the right foot, flex the foot, press through. Feel as if that sit bone and the whole hip and leg is moving way away from you, and then relax it. And then walk out the left heel, walk it out, press through the heel, flex the foot, press, 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 then relax it. Hopefully you still have a little low back curve. Remind yourself to tell me, do you have low back curve? Make sure your shoulders are out and relaxed. And now you're hopefully in your Shavasana. You can pull your arms away from the body if they're feeling trapped. Not taking your head to either side, just keeping on the back of the head. Your cervical spine, your neck is not down on the floor. So look back behind you, get a little bit more space in your neck if you need to. Then bring your gaze back into neutral. So finding your spot to melt. What can you let go? Melting into the floor. Slowly and gently, bringing your awareness into the breath. No judging where it is, just finding it in the belly or the chest. Extend it out a little bit, letting it grow in the exhale, giving more room for the inhale. And then consider, if you will, taking your arms up and overhead. You can hold onto your wrist and just reaching away from one side, making it long, and then hold the other wrist and reach away from the other side, toes to the fingertips, making it long. Coming back into neutral, Put your feet on the floor, bend your knees, put your feet on the floor. Lift your bottom off the floor, shake it out for a moment, and then shift it away from me, set it down. Draw your knees into the chest and roll over to the other side. Just rolling away. Good. All curled up, finding that C curve again, an embryo pose. Chin is tucked into the chest. No lumbar curve. Rest. And then using the hand of the upper arm on the floor in front of your face, keep your chin tucked into your chest so that your head is the very last thing you peel off and stack on top of your spine. So begin to press the floor away, pushing the floor away, chin stays tucked into the chest. And when you're all the way up, just lift the chin away and stack it. Keep your eyes closed for a moment if you can. Soft gaze if not. Just letting the asana do their work. And then on your next inhale, letting your eyes flutter open, and we're going to move into our pranayama practice. So this morning, we're going to do a circular breath, a breath that we circle through the nostrils. So it's not nadi shodan, although people often mistake it for nadi shodan. Okay, we're going to inhale through the left nostril and out the right, and then inhale left, out right. So we're circling it through. This is, you can do it instead of nadi shodan, or you can also use one. Because if we're using the left side to inhale, we're stimulating ida nadi, which means that we are stimulating the cooling side. So now I won't be mirroring you. So now this is your right side, and this is your left side, sorry, and this is your right. Well, I'm not mirroring. So find your right hand. Here's my right hand, so yours is over there, okay? Tuck in the index finger and the middle finger. So you have your thumb for your right nostril, ring finger for your left nostril. Go ahead and put your hands on your nose so you know how that feels, to your shoulder, to your elbow. Don't take the arm out too far that it gets tired, and don't push it in so that it hurts it reduces your capacity to breathe. Find a nice open spot for your arm, no tension. Good. And you're not pressing into it yet, okay? So if your fingers are not comfortable tucked in, you're welcome to place the index and the middle finger at the third eye and operate the thumb and the ring finger from there. So you can decide which feels best to your hand. So it's a chest breath only. We're gonna bring the breath in, take it out, and then switch fingers, just taking it in and out every time. So let's start together. This is Chanda Vedana, moon movement, okay? Closing off the right nostril, inhale left. Top of the inhale, switch fingers, exhale right. Bottom of the exhale, switch fingers, inhale left. Switch, exhale right. Switch, inhale left. Switch, exhale right. Not a full yogic breath, it's just a chest breath. Switch, inhale left. Switch, exhale right. I'll be quiet and you keep going. Every time you switch, inhale left. Every time you exhale right. And the next time you exhale out your right nostril, bring the practice to a close. Release your arm, hand down to the leg, and just note what's happening, how you feel. On an inhale, letting your eyes flutter open, or you can just go with my voice. Bringing the right hand back, putting it back in Vishnu Mudra, replacing that index finger and the middle finger there, whatever is most comfortable for your shoulder. So same arm, same hand, same everything. But this time we're going to begin by closing off the left nostril, inhaling right, switch, exhale left. So opposite, Surya Vedana, sun, heating pose. So heating and circling the breath, just circling the breath through. We'll begin together and then you keep going. Exhaling the breath all the way out, closing off the left nostril, inhale right. Switch fingers, exhale left. Switch fingers, inhale right. Switch fingers, exhale left. Switch fingers, inhale right. Switch fingers, inhale left. I'll stop, you keep going. Always inhaling right, always exhaling left. And the next time you exhale out your left nostril, relaxing your arm, your hand to your leg, notice how you feel, body, breath, mind. You can keep your eyes closed as we slide right into meditation. If you need to make any adjustments, gentle, soft, not a lot of ruckus. Our meditation this morning will be using the sound of um, 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 um. So the mantra of is bringing your mind into that space, repeating it silently to yourself over and over. Beginning to visualize yourself sitting in a globe of light, containing your whole body. A globe of light. The whole body sitting in a globe of light. Yellow-white light illuminating completely. Your body begins to take a transparent nature, and you become the globe of light. Um, um, um. contained in this globe of life. You weigh nothing. The globe of life with you in it. You can imagine it levitating and coming off of the floor. You can imagine all of our globes of light lifting toward the sky. Um, um, um. Allowing your mind to connect again with the light, with the globe that's you in it. And slowly and gently imagining the light dissipating in strength. And as it dissipates in strength, you come back to your space, finding yourself gently sitting firmly on the floor. Um. Slowly and gently bringing your hands into your heart, Anjali Mudra. Resting your thumbs on your sternum. Heartbeat, circulation of blood. Circulation of lymph and all of the interstitial fluids. Circulation of the nutrients, all that's absorbed and assimilated in the body. All that's absorbed and assimilated in the mind. Vyana. Any merit that we may have earned this morning in our practice of yoga, we lift it up to the welfare of all sentience. Join me in a final Om, closing our practice, exhaling the breath all the way out, and inhaling to chant. Letting your eyes flutter open gently. Hari Om Tat Sat. Namaste. Okay, I'm coming to you. How is everyone? Let me take this off so I can get my screen fixed so I can see you, so you can talk. Okay, first thing is so you can talk. Now you can talk. Now, gallery, so I can see your pretty faces. Good. Okay. So how is everyone this morning? Hi, Izzy. Nice to see you back. Good. Excellent. Great. Hi, Jean. Nice to see you. So tell me, hi, Antonia. She saved me last night. I wanted to watch Anne with an E, but I was afraid there was going to be a terrible outcome. So I called and I asked for the spoiler. I said, I can't watch it. I don't know if you guys have ever watched Anne with an E, but it's the story of Anne of Green Gables, right? It's a Netflix film and it's a 3-part series and whatever. But I needed to not be very, very, very sad. Already it's sad enough, the whole story. So it's like, so I called Antonia last night and asked her to please give me the spoiler alert. Tell me what happened so that I can breathe. And it's not like I haven't read the book and seen the old movie. But this is quite different. I'm having to pretend it's a completely different thing, but so all the way. Okay, so somebody asked me to expound on my statement last month of no yogurt and fruit. And you know, us living here in Guatemala, we really do that. Juan Carlos, que gusto en verte. Yo vi tu nombre al principio, me alegró mucho. So we do a lot of yogurt and fruit here. But in Ayurveda, according to the scriptures, you don't ever mix fruit with dairy. You never would mix fruit with dairy. And you would have a fruit meal. And also what we call, why we breathe with the middle. Oh, okay. Hold on, Alfredo. Don't hold that thought for 1 second. Juan Carlos, mil gracias. Ya te vas temprano. Okay. So we don't eat it just because of the digestive properties, because yogurt takes a while to digest, the way that it's heavy and thick, the way that people use it. And so in Ayurveda, when we talk about yogurt, what we're talking about, we call it buttermilk. And it means literally like if you would take a tablespoon of yogurt in 8 ounces of warm water, stir it in, and it's known in India as a lassi. And so you can have a salty lassi or a sweet lassi. And the only fruit that's okay with yogurt because of its heating properties is mango. So that's the reason that the only lassi you see in all of India is a mango lassi or a salty lassi. So a salty lassi is my favorite. So you take a tablespoon of yogurt into 8 ounces of warm water, put in a little salt, a little cumin, a little coriander, whatever spices you might like, and sip that room temperature or a little warmer, but never cold, along with the meal. And that helps the acidophilus into the meal. But like big glumps of yogurt, like we do here in the States and in Guatemala, of just like a whole bowl of yogurt with fruit, it's a disaster for your tummy. So sorry. And now the way that we get sick in Ayurveda, one of the major ways is called prajna parad, which means crimes against wisdom. So now I've told you, so the next time you have your yogurt and fruit, you're going to go crimes against wisdom. And in the night, when you have your little sniffly sinus thing, in the morning you wake up and your nose is all stopped up. I told you so. Okay, let me find Alfredo's comment. Hold on. What? The meditation, okay, that's a great question, Alfredo. Why do we breathe in the middle of the chest during asana? So I'll tell you why. I've lost my shoe. My floor is stone and it's cold. I mean concrete and it's cold. So if we breathe, like we have to choose, like our diaphragm is what we're using, right? We're really not using we're not using our belly and we're not using our chest, we're using our diaphragm. And that's how we breathe. It contracts and it has to go somewhere, or we relaxes and we're in exhale. So when you exhale, you're relaxing, and when you're inhaling, you're breathing. So when I say engage your belly in an asana, which we're doing pretty much through all asana, especially all the standing asana, not necessarily so much all the seated ones, but when we're having to engage our belly to keep our low back safe, the only place you can breathe is here. So our chest, when we're taking our inhale, it's like when I'm in my warriors or something, That's where my breath is. It is not down here where it is when I'm usually just breathing normally and meditating, which this stays relatively stable. So if I use this to breathe in asana, I'm going to dump into my belly and not have my low back have that strength, because your low back is the psoas, the iliopsoas muscle, that has to stay engaged. So you don't want to drop your transverse abdominis. You need that engaged, and the rectus abdominis engaged. So if you breathe down into your belly, you're going to compromise your low back. So that's why in asana, I'm always encouraging you to breathe where you have your sports bra area, right? And not up here, because this innervates the sympathetic fight, flight, fright, freeze. And we don't want to innervate that at all. So it's not that you can't innervate that area when you're doing a yogic breath and you're sitting silently and you're taking your last breath before you hold the breath for, 30 seconds to 3 minutes, whatever your breath is. But thank you, Antonio. But if you breathe up into here, like if you're in asana and you're breathing, because maybe you don't have the flexibility in your ribs yet or in your diaphragm yet because you haven't really used it. There's this diaphragmatic release that they can do in the osteopathic office to help you get space in there. But let's just say you've never really breathed here at all. And then so when I say chest breath, you go, and your shoulders lift and you bring it all up in here. That's going to innervate your sympathetic fight, fright, flight. And you don't want that to happen, right? So you want it here in the chest. And then when you're doing a pranayama practice and you're taking your time to do your pranayama practice, then you can breathe into your belly, into your chest, do the full yogic breath, and it can come on up, and then you can do your locks or whatever you're doing. But you really want to make sure you know the difference between diaphragmatic breath, chest breath, belly breath. We need to know all the differences. Does that help, Alfredo? Is that good? Okay. Yes, good. Okay, so everybody's got that. So now I want you all to tell me how you were doing in that twist, where you were down into Chatushpada Kabandhasana, four-legged ghost pose, and you were twisting from there, and you had your toes lifted, which means you were working really hard to keep your base stable. Did you guys feel that? Could you feel your base was more stable if you were super aware of your feet? Yes or no? I'm looking. Yeah? Okay. How many of you felt your hips still climbing up? Okay, good. All right. So that's the key, is that we really don't want it to climb. And I can promise you, when I'm usually in class and I look over and it's like, as if they just like bent the knee, bent the leg, took the foot, I don't know what happens, but the whole hips shift a lot, right? Rather than thinking solid base, and all I'm really trying to do is get my breathing apparatus to have more room. That's the whole thing behind it all. So I want the chest, I want the twist to be where I have ribs, not below my ribs. The low back isn't meant for twisting. And if you guys want to see a video about that, which I've showed Sue's class, but if you want to see a video about why you shouldn't twist, then email me. And I'll send you the video, okay, about why you don't twist in your low back, because it is super not cool to do that. Or you can go to my video channel. I think it's just G Hooven, and look at the yoga anatomy videos under YouTube. Okay, any questions? What about the Surya Vedana and the Chandra Vedana? So Surya, when you come in through the right and out through the left, in through the right, out through the left. And Chandra, moon, relax when you come in through the left, out through the right. So you can see why using one or the other could be super helpful. But you can also see why doing one and then the other could be super helpful, right? So in Ayurveda, we can use one for someone who needs some heating or the other for someone who needs some cooling. And then we can also have people do them together, because a lot of times folks are not feeling ready for Nadi Shodan. Nadi Shodan will feel a little bit more complicated because it is a yogic breath in Nadi Shodan. And this Kriya is just a chest breath, right? You're welcome, Izzy. Thank you. And good to see you. We're changing times. Before everybody forgets, we are changing times. So in November, it'll be 7 a.m. as usual in California and 9 a.m. in Guatemala. And then on Thursdays, it'll be 8 a.m. as always here in Guatemala and 6 a.m. in California. So yeah. Jana, you had a question, sweetie?
Yeah, I was just curious why on the breath that's only supposed to be a chest breath. Like how does that make a difference rather than a yogic breath?
Well, it's not so much, I mean, you could use a yogic breath if you wanted to, but it's not the practice. I mean, you could if you wanted to, but the practice, it just calls for a chest breath. And that's just what's written. So, you know, it's not like I know. That's just what Babaji taught us how to do, and that's what you use on this particular breath. So, and when I've seen Dr. Lad or someone teach it too, you know, Dr. Lad often teaches these with a lot more power than Babaji really ever taught him. Like you can't hear Babaji's breath when you bring him in or out, whether it be a yogic breath for Nadi Shodan. He said a feather could be in front of your nose and you don't move it, or whether it be Surya Vedana or Chandra Vedana, that, you know, you don't really hear the breath. But when Dr. Lad does it, it's, I won't gross you out with the other side. But you can really hear it. But I can see also for why Ayurvedically, if you need someone to have a really big effect, if it's not like them just sitting and going into a meditation afterwards, like if you really need to affect heat or cold, then you should use them with some more force, right? If what I'm doing is really looking to cool you down or heat you up, then I should ask you to do it with more force. So therapeutically, where it's not like just moving into meditation, then sometimes I would use a much more powerful, it still would be chest, but it would be really into that and then in and out and in and out. Yeah. I hope that makes sense to you guys. Okay, so Tina, I'll see you tonight. Sue, I'll see you tonight. We have YTT, Yoga Teacher Training, 300 Advanced Yoga Studies starting tonight through Sunday. So I'll see, and Cam, he's my right arm tonight. So I'll see everybody hopefully on Tuesday. So have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy yourselves. Stay safe. Remember, a second wave is coming wherever you are. Some of you a third wave. So let's all be careful. Pretend everybody that you come into contact with has it, and take every precaution you possibly can to keep yourself safe. Okay? Much love to everyone. Take care. See you on Tuesday. Good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. Bye.